Morning! It's Saturday morning, boys and girls. Do you know, I'm just listening to the music there. Saturday the 6th of June 2020. Greetings and prosperity. Live long and prosper to our millions, billions now, billions of viewers. Perhaps I should stand here with a Bible, something like that, you know. Outside a church. Would that work? Would that get me any more viewers? I should stand outside a church with a Bible. Good morning. It's Saturday the 6th of June 2020. Welcome to a slightly cooler United Kingdom talk this morning. Not that we could be any cooler if we tried. Oh my God, the teenagers love this. They absolutely love this programme and they can relate to every single thing I say. Lovely to see Danny Gibbs appearing so early in the morning, who apparently he's going just about to have his toast. I hope you don't mind me saying this, Danny. Can I just recommend half a slice for you, my darling? At this point in your life, perhaps just half a slice of toast, no butter or just dry toast, or perhaps even dust. Perhaps a little piece of dust for you this morning, Danny. Good morning. While I was listening to that, I love that bit of music that we use to start now, boys and girls. Now let me see if I can find it. Do you know what? It suddenly occurred to me because I hum along to that. I absolutely hum along to that piece of music, and you know what it's missing. Do you know what it's missing? What it's missing is a heavenly choir singing in. Now, Danny, you could relate to this. Like, oh, hang on, I got the wrong one. There's that one, isn't it? Right, it needs a heavenly choir. Now, I'm about to give, it's so early in the show. I mean, this show is all about me giving. You take and I give. Which is unusual in my life, to be honest. But yes, you take and I give. It's all about giving, this show. And I'm giving you some of my musical skills, not late on in the show today, but early. Early. Are you ready? I think we should have a heavenly choir singing that part of the tune. I'm about to demonstrate with echo. Echo on. Echo on. I've got all the gear here. This isn't, I told you before, this is a professional programme surrounded by top tech equipment here. State-of-the-art television studio I'm speaking to you in. I am. It's not a spare room in the house or a shed. Someone suggested the other day I was doing this show in a shed. I beg your pardon. A shed? This is not Ross Patzel's show on Reach FM, dear. Anyway, what the music needs is a heavenly choir, possibly not the right way through it, but at the end. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Absolutely needs a heavenly choir at the end there, don't you think? Perhaps we should get our own choir together. You know, like you see those people on the news during the lockdown when they have like lots of separate little videos of people on the screen. I don't know, 20 or 30 people singing on the screen, and someone mixes them all together. That's what we need to open the show. Perhaps I could use great nieces and nephews to do that. I like the sound of that. I'm very pleased to announce that at last, after about 4 months, I managed to put their United Kingdom Talk T-shirts in the post. Would you like to see the children in their T-shirts? Would you? Would you like to see the children in their T-shirts? We will require for that only 12 likes for that. Because the children trump me. I'm afraid they do. Great nieces and nephews trump me. We will require 12 likes to show you, not all of them, but some of my great nephews, two of my great nieces and one of my great nephews in their brand new United Kingdom Talk T-shirts, which these ones are yellow, not available to the general public. No, I'm sorry, they're not. No, there's none available to the general public. We've got a T-shirt in the super draw, in the super raffle this week, in the super chatter raffle this week, as you well know. Here we are. Which we might as well mention that while we're talking about T-shirts. There you go. Large white or large black or XXL large. That's for the super chatter raffle this week. Okay. If you send me a £1 tip, I will give you a free raffle ticket. Only needs to be £1. Any more is fine. That's up to you. You only need to send £1. And I'll give you send a £1 tip. I'll give you a free raffle ticket. It doesn't get any better than that, does it? Right. Let's see what they say here this morning. Just scrolling up a little bit there. Morning to Jason Hughes, Gavin Bass. Hello, Gavin. Gavin has been retweeting me. Oh, I get a little moment of pleasure whenever I see a retweet, which in my case is very rare. You know, you see on some of these little tweeting people's tweet things. The endless retweets. I wish I hadn't put this on. It's far too hot. This should be for the winter. God's sake. I'm sweating like anything here. Yes, I was retweeted today and yesterday by the lovely Gavin Bash. So thank you very much for that, Gavin. Morning to Diane Jeb. Mick Davenport in the house. Daniel Woodhouse is going back to sleep. Well, this show is guaranteed. If you have ever had any trouble sleeping at night, just put one of these on. You'll be out like that. The NHS are seriously considering recommending this programme for those people that have trouble sleeping. And it's so much cheaper than them dishing out their little old tablets, isn't it? It really is. Morning to you, Daniel. Well, you won't be able to hear me, so I will withdraw the morning comment to you because you'll be asleep. And don't put this show on too early after you've just woken up because quick as a light, you'll be back. If you're one of those people that wake up, you know, halfway through the night, you know, might like me, you know, a little bit older, you know, rather than leaking out into the bed, you hoist that old frame up and take yourself to the toilet. Which I hope you do that as noisily as possible, incidentally. You know, when you're going for a wee, chaps, when you're standing up, you know, aim it for the water. Aim it for the water so that it sounds like a waterfall and wakes every other single person in the house up, which sadly in my case is no one, but you know, you never know. If they keep telling me it's never too late, I don't believe them, darling. Not for a moment. Aim it for the water to make as much noise as possible. Then you get it back into bed. Oh, you can't get off again, can you? Just fire up one of my shows. Just leave it running in the corner. You'll soon be asleep, my darlings. Morning to Daniel Holmes. Colin Coates, hello to you. Danny Gibbs is there. I hope you didn't have 2 slices of toast, Danny. Just half a slice. No butter. No marmalade. Nothing. Nothing. I'm speaking in chav now because Danny's a little bit of a chav. So we have to add, you change the G on the end of a lot of things for a K. Nothing. Nothing. Morning to Fran Green, Mike Rees-Ponto, Mandy Davenport in the house this morning. Dr. Gregorian. Good morning to Sean Pye this morning. I did put a little message up yesterday, which for some reason has disappeared. Right at the very top it was, and I know some of you saw it and added your messages underneath. I'm afraid I don't know why, but it disappeared. I have a feeling you cross over midnight and it starts again. And the message was a sad message, I'm afraid, in that Sean Pye yesterday lost his wife. She went in the hospital to have something done and they discovered something else and she went downhill incredibly rapidly. So please, if you want to send your commiserations to Sean this morning, he is on air and he'll be watching the messages. I don't know if he may or may not answer you. I'm sure you'll understand if he doesn't, but Sean Pye sadly lost his wife yesterday. So Sean, we're very sorry to hear about that. May she rest in peace. I hope you don't mind me saying, I did put this on the message. They've all disappeared, even including my one. I hope you don't mind me saying this, Sean, but, you know, to go fairly quickly, I think sometimes is a blessing in disguise. I've seen people, and it's drawn out in great pain and suffering for weeks, months, sometimes years, and I think a lot of us can just hope possibly to just go in our sleep without knowing anything, you know, or at least very quickly. And I think that was the case with your wife. I know she was in a bit of discomfort before she went, but, fairly quick. And I think perhaps that might be something to actually be pleased with. Not pleased losing your wife, but the fact that it was quick. So please, if you want to send your commiserations to Sean this morning, do that in the chat box. All right, my love. Good luck to you, Sean. Good luck to you. Let's say hello to some other people this morning. Andy. Good morning, Andy. Mike Responto. Doesn't sound very heavenly. More like you're in pain. How rude. I am a professional singer, I'll have you know, Mike Responto. Professional singer. Thank you very much. All right. Daniel enjoyed my singing there. I thought you would. Yeah, there you go. A lot of people are saying about that. I'm not constipated at all. How rude you are. Okay? How rude you are. Please send your messages there. Good morning to Roy Stone. Good morning to Roy Stone, who apparently has friends, fans and followers. We've yet to see any of them on this channel, but I'm sure in your own little world you have there, Roy. Good luck to you there. All right? I'm very pleased that Roy's second mug has arrived now. It's always disappointing, both for you, actually, Roy, and me at this end, when someone sort of sends a message in and says, "Oh, my cup's arrived," or whatever. But it would only be a cup, really, that gets damaged in the post. It drags my heart down. It really does, because all that effort you've gone to for you to win, of course, and to me to send the thing off and and do all that, and then it's smashed. But there you go. I was talking to my sister about this actually, and she was saying they used to send out mugs. My sister and brother-in-law, they used to do that as like a little business. It's one of the first things they did, I think. They were making mugs and things like that. And there's a little bit of money to be made of that. You won't get rich. You won't get rich making mugs for someone. But like a little sideline type thing. And I said to her on the phone, I said, "Did you get many smashed?" She says, "Not really, no." She said it seemed to come in waves. You could be sending them out for weeks, no problems at all, and then suddenly you'll get 3 or 4 smashed at the same time. So whether they've got like, a rogue person working in the sorting office or the delivery office or something like that, I don't know. But I'm glad you've got your one there, Roy. I'm very pleased to hear about that. Okay, excellent. Well, Roy, I mean, when someone wins something, I like to get it out literally as soon as possible. I don't like people to be waiting about. I don't like to wait for stuff. I hate it, especially if it's on Amazon and you've got like the one-click ordering there. The one-click ordering there. But I'm pleased to say 2 items that didn't arrive have now arrived. But what happened is, first of all, the DIY tape. Don't even go there. The DIY job didn't turn out very well, as is normally the case for me. In 99% of cases of me trying to do something that looks very, very simple as a DIY job, and I muck it up big time. And I got this, if you were watching the show yesterday, I got this tape, okay, which is like, it's roofing repair tape. It's very thick. I don't know what material it is. It's almost like, well, I don't know what it is. I have no idea. It's like a thick, flexible stuff with sticky on one side, but it doesn't appear to be that sticky. It's a good mate, Bostik, which are like, very well known for their glue and adhesive stuff, aren't they? But no, I mean, I don't know. I'll have to get a bloke in. Anyway, so that was supposed to come. I waited 2 weeks. It never arrived. And then on the Monday, they said it had been delivered and it hadn't been delivered. Went on the chat box and they said, "Oh, it's been updated too quickly." Well, how can you say something's been delivered if it hasn't been delivered? Don't make sense. Anyway, so on the chat box, they refunded me immediately because it was the second time I'd asked, "Where is this thing?" They refunded me there and then straight away. And then a pair of walking trainers. Now, I've got walking boots, but they're a little bit rubby on the back of the feet if you wear them for a few days at a time. I would normally only wear those if it was a bit wet, because the rain doesn't stop me going out. I mean, honestly these fairies that go, oh, it's raining a little bit too much. Oh, I might get my hair wet. No, I go. Same on the bike. Little bit of rain, I'll still be on the bike with a little bit of plastic shoved over my head or something like that, or one of those cagoles or something. and off I go. But as I say, the boots I will only wear. So I ordered some walking shoes as well, and I've been waiting 2.5 weeks for those. Went on the thing. Oh, the post is a bit slow. Waited a bit longer. Still didn't arrive. Back on the Amazon again. But this time it was direct from a shoe place, so I had to contact them. They received the email, say at, I don't know, 11 o'clock in the morning. At 11:30, they've replied and refunded my money. So you can't grumble at that. They did a tracking thing, and the post office had lost it somewhere. So just one of those things. You know, other stuff I've noticed is coming very slowly. Can take ages for items to arrive. Although Roy got his cup in a day, I was sent my accounts back yesterday from my accountant. Thank you very much to Stephen up there in Scotland. My accountant's in Scotland, and that's all done. You know, I'm always ahead with this stuff, months ahead. Do you know when we have to get these accounts in? 31st of January next year. They're done, all done. All done. Information in at the tax office. Everything's done. See, I now know how much I've got to pay in July this year. 31st of July, I think it is. Or is it 31st of June? 31st of July. I have to make a payment then. Self-employed, we do 2 payments a year. One in July, one in January. So the July one, well, I already know that from last year. And I already know now what I have to pay at the end of January and at the end of next June. Way ahead. Way ahead, and it's good to be ahead like that. Please, you know, these people that are self-employed, they leave it to the last minute. Madness. And then on like, or is it, actually, I think it's the 31st of December you've got to get your accounts in. 31st of December, I think. And then some of them, they're up on, my colleagues, other DJs and singers and entertainment type people like that, they're up on Christmas night and Boxing Night, trying to do all their accounts because they've left it till the last minute. Very, very foolish. And if you go past that date, instant £100 fine. Not a small amount of money. Some people think that's a small amount of money, £100. I tend to think that's incredibly a lot of money to lose because you can't get off your lazy arse and get done with it. Oh, well, I've been too busy. What, watching the telly? Of course you have, my dear. No, all done. All done. So I'm pleased about that. What I'm not so pleased about is the bill from the accountant. It's almost as much as the blooming tax. But you see, please, if you're self-employed, you need an accountant. They will know every single thing. You won't know. It's not your job. Not your job. They will know every little single thing you can claim for. And possibly look at your books to look for mistakes. Maybe you've got a double entry in there somewhere. You might have, I don't know, bought petrol on Monday last week for £45, whatever. Not as much as that at the moment, is it? But £45. You've put £45 in, and then perhaps Friday you come back to your computer and, oh, did I put that in? You put it in again, £45. Now you might look and miss that. The accountant won't miss it. Oh, you've got 2 entries here. Oh, okay. Cross it off. Because you don't want the tax man to find errors, because then you get fined. That's why you should have, or every single person should have an accountant who's self-employed. Very, 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 very important. Worth their weight in gold. Yes, he did charge me an arm and a leg. Put it this way, I think I could be sending him to Florida and back this year on a holiday, if only there was a plane to take him. Never mind, so that's all done. Would you like to see... So I had deliveries yesterday. And then I'll read out some of your messages, okay? 2 deliveries. You remember my broken garden watering item, which completely stopped working the other day? It was bad enough, it kept getting stuck in one position, and then you'd move it slightly and it would start moving again. Well, the other day I tried to put it on, nothing. The water just didn't come out. It was kind of just dribbling underneath it, so there must be a blockage in there somewhere. I think a few of you have got blockages, haven't you? Huh? Very important to sort out blockages, boys and girls. Anyway, so I've got the new one. Here it is. Yeah, look. And it moves from side to side. I don't think you can move. Oh, yes, you can. You can move it from side to side. And you can adjust it. And it goes... And honestly, I put this onto the end of my hose. The water poured out. I had to turn the tap down. It was so powerful. And it's all plastic. And someone in the chat box the other day was saying you should have put the old one in a solution of limescale dissolver. You know, like them tablets that you put in a kettle sometimes, that the lime scale gathers in. Yeah, I should have put it in there. So perhaps at the end of the summer season, I might do that with this. I might do that before the problem starts, so it'll probably stop the problem happening. But I think there's a good chance that that was what was wrong. Although, does lime scale stick to plastic? I'm not sure it does, actually. I'm not sure it does. I can't... When I do the lime scale in the kettle, it tends to be on the bottom where the element is rather than the plastic. So maybe not. But it'll be worth a try. So I'll take that on board. So that's that. And also my brand new walking... So that was under 20 quid, that. It's not bad, is it? Under 20 quid for that. I have used it already. Oh my God, the water was ejaculating out of it so high. It was so high. Really, I had to turn the tap down, ejaculating. It was like, and you were looking at it and it was like seeing a rainbow. Up above the streets and houses, rainbow flying high. It was like that. Ejaculating high into the sky it was. Dear me, if I had my bedroom window open, it would have hit the wall. It was coming out so with such gusto. Anyway, so I'm pleased with that gadget. And my new walking trainers have arrived. Here they are. Look at these. Oh, yes. Proper, innit? Proper. And as you can see, that goes up over the hill now. Now, you're supposed to... And there's the tread on that. They have already been used, as you can see. Oh, it's not. No. Oh, I had a terrible feeling that... No, it's not. No, it's not. A nice tread on there, and good. So there they are. How much? £29. £29. That's not bad, is it? £29 for those, and they're quite comfortable. You're supposed to wear things in like that if you're going to go like for long walks and things like that. So I popped up to my mate's house yesterday. He invited me over for burger and chips and some baked beans. So I wore them up there because that's about a half-hour walk there, half-hour back again. And no problems at all. I didn't feel them rubbing on the back of my... like you would do with a pair of proper leather boots, I suppose, like walking boots. You are supposed to wear those in. But these were quite fine. They're quite comfortable. I couldn't really feel bumps, like stones underneath, little stones as you walk on. So I'm very pleased with those. £29. Absolute bargain. You can spend hundreds of pounds on a decent pair of walking boots. In fact, my mate's just bought a pair of slippers. He don't buy nothing cheap. Oh, I haven't turned my text phone on, sorry. If you're texting in, I haven't turned it on yet. He doesn't buy anything cheap, ever. He always has to spend a small fortune on things. He's just bought a pair of slippers. I'm not sure. They might be UGG slippers. I'm not sure. Oh, now that won't come on. Oh, there it's on. And that's for a pair of slippers. Bearing in mind, I've just spent £29 on these because I go a lot of walking now. I started doing that at the beginning of this lockdown because I can't go swimming. So I now go walking a lot, somewhere usually between 4 and 5 miles a day, either by foot or by bike. Yesterday, 7.2 miles, not in one go. So the first time it was about 4.5 miles, and the second time it was about 2 miles. 7.2 miles I walked yesterday. It's good, isn't it? My bum is becoming all firm again. I'm so happy. I don't like wobbly bum, do you? Oh, no, dear. We can't have any wobbly bums, dear. A little bit like looking at Bernard Manning years ago when he used to turn around on the telly. Not for me, a wobbly bum, dear. We like a nice, tight, firm bum. And I think it's coming. I do think it's coming. I'm sure it is. So I'm quite pleased about that. Right. But he spent on a pair of slippers. First of all, he told me £60. I thought, how much on a pair of slippers? 60 quid? Oh, no. He said, I lied to you about the slippers. I said, go on. He said they were a little bit more than that. Go on. £110 on a pair of slippers. I don't get it. £110 on a pair of slippers. Mad, isn't it? How much would you spend on a pair of slippers as a matter of interest? What would you spend on a pair of slippers? And do you think these walking boots were right? What make are they? Regatta, Great Outdoors. That's a name, isn't it? Regatta, Great Outdoors, £29. Free delivery, Amazon, and they came the next day. That's what I say with Roy and his mug, and these came the next day. So why is it the other stuff just never arrived? 2 items in the same week. Funny, isn't it? Right, let me just come to some of your messages here. Lots of you wishing Sean the best and sending messages about his wife that he very sadly lost yesterday. So thank you for that. Roy, thank you, Roy, for your comments there. Mick Davenport, of course. Dan. Michael Lawrence, Fran, we're all with you, Sean. We're all with you. Dave Moses there. Gavin. Andy. Mandy Davenport. Jason Hughes. Yeah. Dr. Gregorian there. God rest her soul. Absolutely. Okay. There's probably a few there that I missed out. I'm trying to pay a little bit more attention to these things as well this morning for you. There we are. Okay, if you want to carry on putting messages, because Sean Pye sadly lost his wife yesterday. All right. Okay, money someone would spend on a pair of slippers. Oh, I think you're guessing how much he spent there, Mick and Gavin, aren't you? 100. Yeah, you're both either side of that. £110. £110 on a pair of slippers does just seem to be too much. Jason says, my slippers seem to be on the missus' feet more than mine. You got to nick them back. Andy, £8 on a pair of slippers. Yeah, I'm with you there, Andy. I have slippers on there. Now, these are a few years old, actually, and I will admit they're a little bit worn. But I don't know about you, but I don't like to chuck stuff away until it's finished, okay? Now, I look at these slippers. They're not finished yet. All right, they're a little bit worn at the back. I mean, I think the glue gun's going to come out again soon, don't you? They're just a sort of, I mean, it's kind of flaking off a little bit there, isn't it? And then inside, I mean, they're just sort of, you know. Oh, hang on a minute. Look. I can see you. I can see you through this hole in the side. So I think, you know, possibly another 3 or 4 years wear left in those, I think. Well, there's not much tread on there, really. That's just worn down completely. But we can't afford to buy slippers, darling. Can't afford these things. Very poor. Barely got enough food in the cupboard for the next 9 months. Terrible, really. Good morning to Adrian Richardson. I had a delivery from Parcel Force. The box had been opened and my items had been damaged. If I get an item from Amazon, it arrives in good order, delivered on time, and tampered with. You mean not tampered with? Not tampered with from Amazon. I find the Amazon delivery very good. You know, they don't even wait at the door now. We're sort of all right around here for that sort of thing. It may be different, I think, possibly if you're in a city or indeed where Mick Davenport lives in Bristol. I am not sure that anything left outside his door would still be there 3 seconds later, to be honest. But here, stuff doesn't really happen here. Like that, and the boys from, I don't think I've ever seen any lady delivery drivers from Amazon for whatever reason. The boys come, I usually have the same chap comes around who's nice, doesn't speak much English, but he's a nice bloke anyway, and he just leaves it outside and rings your bell. You open the door and there is a lovely new box outside your door, and another parcel has arrived. I love it. I might just order something today. I don't know what. Well, I don't know what. Do you ever? They should do a thing on Amazon. I'm sure it would be very successful. I think you'd possibly have to set it in sort of men, ladies, and children's. But they should have a button on there. This is an excellent idea for those of you that just like ordering stuff. Doesn't necessarily have to be expensive. Don't necessarily have to be ordering a 65-inch colour television. You know, you can order something for like just a few pounds. I don't know. You know, some dental floss. You could order that. But they should have a button on the Amazon website, random ordering, men, women, children. Something like that. So you go on Amazon, fancy ordering, don't know what to order. And then you just go on the button and click it. And then a box arrives. How exciting would that be? It'd be like having Christmas and birthday every day of the year. And a box would just randomly arrive the next day and you wouldn't know what's in it. What an excellent idea. That's what we need. I mean, there must be other people other than Amazon. Argos do it. Argos do it as well. John Lewis. John Lewis. That's what they want to do. Any of these department stores or any of these online ordering places, they need a little button on there for some of you. You know, I'm sure you do it. You go on Amazon. Oh, I think I'll order something today, and you're scrolling. Oh, I can't find anything I want. Or maybe there's lots of things on there that you might desire, but you don't know which one to order really, and you don't really want anything, do you? And you just, the random button, NENS, click that. Thank you, your order has been received. The price is $5.99, $25.99. Oh, you'd have to have another lot of boxes, wouldn't you? Would tell how much you wanted to spend. I think this is an excellent idea. So my best idea this week is this. For all the online delivery people and all the shops and all the department stores that there are selling stuff online on those times that you're sitting there scrolling up and down the shop online, whoever it is, that person who's selling stuff online, there needs to be a random button on there, separated men, women, children. So you select which button you want. You better have one of the non-gender, I don't know what you'd call that one, non-gender thing as well there if you want to. Okay, so you've got the 4 buttons on there, and then, so you'd click on your button, in my case, man, okay, because I am a real man, as you well know. I would click, sorry dear, a real man who is sadly alone in his lonely, pathetic, sad life, sitting in this tiny little studio, week in, week out, talking to himself. I don't know why I do it. I do like the sound of my own voice, as you can probably guess that. So you've clicked on your selected gender, okay? In my case, man. Clicked on there, and then next to that button, because you don't know what to order. You don't know what to order. So you click on this button, and then another little page comes up with your selected amount that you want to pay. I don't know. 0 to £1, perhaps. 0 to £5. 1 to £5, £5 to £10, £10 to £15, £15 to £20. Once you've got over £20, you know someone's got a bit of cash. So you can start going up them in tens. 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, and onwards. All these little lines. And you would tick the box. Tick the box. In my case, probably 10 to 20. I'd tick the 10 to £20 box. 10 to £20 box. And then there'd be one more button to press, order now. And you'd click that button, order now. I mean, this is so much excitement for you in your sad, lonely, pathetic lives. It really is. You'd click the button that says order now, okay? And a message would come up. Thank you, Mr. Reardon, for your order this morning. A box will be coming to you within the next 24 hours. And you don't know what it is. How exciting is that? You know, if you didn't get many birthday presents, and you know how it is as you get older. Most of the people watching this show are particularly ancient, I have to say, I think. Same as myself. Or Christmas presents, something like that. Or perhaps it's nowhere near your birthday or Christmas and you just want a random box sent to you, but you don't want to know what it is. Perhaps you've been looking and you can't see what you want. Just get a box delivered. And you push the button and a random box is sent out. And the next day, your bell goes. Ding dong, if you've got one of those bells. Or ding, or if you're very poor, someone knocks at the door with their fist because you haven't got a bell. And then you get to the door, and in these times of social distancing, please keep away from me 2 meters. In these days of social distancing, you open the door and the delivery man is already disappeared round the corner and you don't know who that is. But there, outside your door, is a box. And you don't know what's in it. How exciting is that? It's like being a child again and having Christmas all over again, isn't it? You bring that box in, and for added excitement, I don't know if you're like me, but at the moment parcels arrive, I bring them in and put them in the shed and I leave them for 2 days in case there's any virus alive on it. Seriously, that's exactly what I do, and then I wash my hands. Morning to one man and his Sprinter van. Good morning to you. Who's suggesting we should do a mystery prize raffle. That might be an idea, actually. Anyway, so you put the box in there, and then for 2 days, the excitement is building inside you. Possibly like you are all day waiting for my next show to come on. The excitement is building. What on earth is he going to talk about today? Will he sing us a song? And then after 2 days, you go to your shed and you retrieve the unknown item, and then you open the box, and then you have your surprise of what's inside, and you never knew what you'd ordered. I think that possibly the online delivery people will have to put a stipulation in there that no returns on this particular item. Otherwise, they just have stuff returned to them. But how exciting is that, eh? I think that's an excellent idea. I will immediately, after today's show, be on my email system and contact the various online organisations, anyone who's delivering stuff online, for this suggestion. I think this is an excellent business opportunity. Thank you very much. Yes. Right, we'll send that one to the BBC, I think. So what did we do? What was that at? About 14 minutes that one was into the show. I was sitting here talking for 40 minutes again. I don't know. Come back to some of your messages there. Let's just scroll up there. Jason Hughes, the open back slippers are lethal. The amount of time... I haven't got open back slippers, my darling. They're not open backed. Look, they're just a little bit worn. Look, back. It's got a back. Jason, the open back slippers are lethal. The amount of times I've tripped up with them on, nearly fell down the stairs a few times. The missus can definitely have those ones. Oh, you're so cruel to your missus, Jason. I think she should give you pain and suffering, to be honest. I really do. You should be getting pain and suffering from your missus. Unfortunately, I'm unable to instruct her to do that because we already have the head of pain and suffering on this channel, Miss Mandy Davenport. Absolutely. Roy Stone. It was the miserable fat postman that bought my cup. Usually it's the pretty woman. Which one broke it? Was it the pretty woman or the miserable fat one? He's obviously had 2 slices of toast in the morning. Mick says we've never had anything nicked. No, only a personality, apparently, Mick. Only a personality. Mandy loves her slippers. She got unicorns. Rabbit me. Bear pug. And... How many slippers have you got, Mandy? Blimey, she's got 4 sets. I've only got 1 set of slippers. I haven't got many shoes and trainers. I've got a few pairs, not like many. My mate has got hundreds of pairs. Seriously. They had to have, him and his other half, they had to have a row of shelves built in the spare room to hold his enormous collection of trainers. But something slightly goes wrong, he chucks them out and buys a new pair. Seriously. He won't give them to me, though. I said, if you've got any stuff you're chucking out, let me see it first. Because you know me, second-hand Chris. That's what I am. Second-hand Chris. I don't like to see waste. I really don't. It's like this phone. You know, I've shown you this phone so many times. You know, look at this phone, okay? It's a bit worn now, okay? The case is, I mean, the case is a bit of a state, really. But, you know, that's broken there and here. Oh, there's Gavin Bass's retweet. Look, retweeted by Gavin Bass. The screen thing is a bit, you know. Now, if he saw that on his screen, right, he'd do one of 2 things. Either order another screen protector, although he'd probably go down to the Apple store and have it done there, or get a new phone. That's how bad he is. Slight chip on the side, something like that. He'll have to have that repaired. Small scratch on the car, straight in the garage for a respray. He's like that. Terrible waste of money. Terrible. It's like these trainers here. Years of wear left in those, my dears. Years. Years. Morning to Maureen, texting in this morning. Good morning to you, Maureen. Oh, £50 mystery boxes. Who does those? Is that Amazon? £50 mystery box. Oh, like the sound of that. Hang on. 50. Hang on. Let me see. £50 mystery box. That's quite a lot of money to spend, though, isn't it? £50. Mega mystery box. 10 items. $29.99. Mystery Hyper Beast. £100 off eBay. Oh, what'd you get in there? They do a women's surprise mystery makeup, pamper gift set, beauty, eyeshadow, bath and body. £50 from Etsy. Oh, someone mentioned Etsy the other day, didn't they? Oh, look at this. Let's have a quick look at this. Oh, it's in euros. Oh, we can't have anything foreign coming in here, dear. Oh, no. What's this? Apple 10% off. £24.99. Oh, they do a tech box. A tech box. €9.99. What do you get in that then? Wow. It's all sorts of stuff. Very good, Roy. I think I'll have a look at that later. Thank you very much. Gavin, £15 for my slippers. I've had them for about 4 years. You keep wearing those, Gavin, my darling. You keep wearing those. Just carrying on there. Adrian might try and order something from Amazon today. Dave Moses, you'd probably end up with some boxing gloves and a golf club. Both useless to me, to be honest, Dave. Absolutely useless to me. We don't do sport here. I do walking and cycling for my own benefit. I certainly don't sit there like some of these overweight people just watching it on the telly and thinking they've got fit by watching a game of football. There they are, all sitting in the pubs, aren't they? Oh, well, oh no, I thought you like the referee can hear him. Talking of sports events, there's a story. Thank you so much, David. You provide me with an excellent link into one of these stories here. Sky Sports, this is in the Daily Star this morning. Sky Sports and BT Sport have agreed on a crowd noise decision. Now, I don't know what you think about this. Sky Sports and BT Sports have announced they will offer viewers the chance to simulate crowd noises and watch games alongside friends using video calls when the Premier League returns to our screens on July the 7th. I can't think of anything more boring than sitting at home watching a football match on the telly. Oh, in God's sake, my nephews, both of them, they love football. My father loved football. He was a Queen's Park Rangers supporter. When he died, they had a ball made in all the... Is it purple and white, possibly, Queen's Park Rangers? Or purple and yellow, maybe. And my mum had this ball made of all the Queen's Park Rangers colours, which went on his grave. It says... The top flight will finally recommence on June the 17th. Games will be played behind closed doors, but ways to increase the atmosphere have been among the many plans to liven up broadcasts in Project Restart. Now, there's not much difference between this and canned laughter, which, of course, we've seen for years and years on comedy programmes. Sometimes you're watching a programme and that laughing doesn't sound right. Well, there's no one actually there. Someone's put the laughing in to increase the atmosphere. They've got like a recording of laughing. They push a button and they put it in where they think it's funny. So not dissimilar to this, BT Sport have announced that their viewers will have the option to watch with or without a pre-recorded dynamic crowd noise feature using the red button in their live games. Now, are you all right with this or what? Is that a good thing? You tell me, because I've no intention of watching any football, so it doesn't really affect me. But I'd be interested to know, if you're a football fan, what you think about this. They've also got Watch Together, okay? BBC have got Watch Together, which is a new feature. I beg your pardon, BT. BT have got Watch Together, which is a new feature allowing customers using the BT Sport app to watch, see and chat with friends in a split screen while the match is being played. Sky Sports will be broadcasting the vast majority of remaining top flight games are doing something similar. So does that kind of do it for you? Do you want that or don't you want that? As a matter of interest. As I say, very similar to the canned laughter that we've had over the years there. All right. Tony King sending Sean condolences today. Thank you very much. I honestly don't think there's anything wrong at this end. There's nothing I've done here. Let me just bring up my chat. Live chat thing. Enable live chat. Allow chat to replay. No. There's nothing here I can do. Allow embedding. No. No. There's nothing here I can do. There's nothing here I can do about this chat. And as I say, it's not all of you, is it? Some of you, it's working perfectly all right. It just seems to be certain people. Mine has started working because I had trouble with mine here. You know, I had trouble with mine here, but that's working perfectly all right now. Gosh, there's a lot of messages coming down there. I'll have to scroll down there, okay? Morning to Michael Pullman, because I can't keep up. John Aitken. QPR is blue and white. Is it? Okay, blue and white. Thank you very much. Good morning to Sherry DMP. Welcome along. Sherry and John in the house. She's got her own account now, Sherry. Have you been allowed to set up your own account, my love? Morning, Sherry. Morning to you, Sherry. Scott Walker, QPR. He's got his thumbs up there. Jason Hughes likes the clapping on some game shows. Yes, we've heard that as well. Mandy, are you a Mope? She's got the thumbs down for the football there. Christopher Woodhouse hates football. Someone must like football on here. Tony King. Perhaps they could play football in the dark, making it mildly more interesting. If it was, I'd be on the pitch trying to grab the players for a snog. Something like that. Daniel says the snooker came back. Where has it gone now? The snooker came back this week, and that's all that I'm bothered about. Again, something that I'm not really into, but I know people are interested in that sort of thing. Morning to Shania. Morning to Shania. Morning to George Bond. George is changing his Facebook thing, isn't he? So good morning, John. George, I've deleted your old one in readiness for that. Good morning to Shane. Hello to Shane RG. Morning, Shane, to you. We've got a tip coming there from Christopher Woodhouse. Thank you, Chris. He's sent a £2 tip this morning. He's hoping to win our Super Chatter raffle prizes. So I'll give you 2 free raffle tickets for that, Chris. All right? 437 and 438. And then we'll show you these pictures of... I've got a few bits and pieces to show you today. Did I say 12 likes? I think I said 12 likes, didn't I? Chris Woodhouse. There you go, Chris. 437 and 438 for you. The prizes on the Super Chatter raffle on Thursday this week. Okay, very simple. T-shirt, all right? You can have a black one, you can have a white one, or you can have a black XXXL one. They're the sizes I've got, all right? Black, white, or black, large, black, white, or black XXXL, all right? They're the sizes I've got this week. Oh, and Andy's sent a tip in as well now. Have you, Andy? Let me give you a couple of free raffle tickets as well, Andy. You get, my dear, 439 and 440. That's only for the people who are doing the Super Chat. It's the Super Chat raffle every Thursday morning, okay? Andy. That's a good nursery rhyme, that is. Let me just write a note of that. We'll use that in the quiz at some point. That's quite a good one. Oh, hang on a minute. Let's put it there. 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not a nursery rhyme, is it? No, it's not a TV. It's a TV programme. There we go. Yeah, put that in my little book of songs here. Any suggestions you've got for songs, boys and girls, for the quiz, you can send those through. Thank you, Andy. 439 and 440 for you. All right. And there's another one there, Michael Lawrence. Oh, isn't it funny? Sometimes I notice someone might decide to send a tip, and then everyone else does, or 2 more people do anyway. So thank you for that. A couple of free tickets for you as well, Michael Lawrence there. How's work going, Michael? Are you doing all right there at the moment? Did they give you... Because Michael works in Waitrose. I think in the Sorry if I've got this wrong, Michael. In the sort of warehousey type part of things, is it? There you go. 2 for you, Michael. 441 and 442 for Michael there. Okay. And, Dr. Gregorian as well. There we are. That's a nice little tip now. I've kind of been paid to do the show today, haven't I, this morning? You've paid me to do the show. Huh? Thank you. 3 for Dr. Gregorian this morning. Sending a super chatter sticker, which is, what is it? A little baby. Looks like a little baby dancing, is it? Is it Dr. Gregorian? Little baby dancing or something like that? As a matter of interest, Dr. Gregorian, up at your church. Morning, Chris Woodhouse. Thanks for the text there. Did I say hello to Maureen this morning? Maureen's joining us on her television at home as well. There you go, Dr. Gregorian. 3 tickets for you there for the Super Chatter raffle on Thursday. 434, 444 and 445. Yeah, have they done anything... Have they done anything to open your church yet? As a matter of interest, Dr. Gregorian, we are not opening yet. Although they've just installed. Those of you, I know there's 1 or 2 of you, not many. That's okay. You know, each and every one's their own. But I know there's a couple of you that watch my live stream coming from the Wokingham Church, one of the churches that I attend on Sundays, of course, because we can't go in there. And he's had a camera set up in there. Well, they've now had a permanent installation. So those of you that watch it will see the camera's in a different position now. Actually, I think it's moved very far back. And I quite liked the fairly close-up of the altar and all the bits and pieces. I think it's been moved right back and gone up. So we'll see how that looks on Sunday, tomorrow indeed, and I'll be grabbing it. What they do is they actually broadcast it on Facebook Live, and I'm able to pick up that feed and then shove it out on my religious music and hymns channel on the YouTube, and that's how it works. So we'll see how that picture looks tomorrow. So thanks for that. Let's just scroll back up then, my love. I've done everyone now, haven't I? I think I've done everyone. Sherry, my channel is Life in the UK for a Filipino and Cooking Be Gentle. I'm new. Well, you're very welcome, Sherry, darling. You're very, very welcome to the show, my love. All right. Is the crowd dubbed on boxing? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea at all. No idea at all. Shane's put Manchester United there. Is that the colours? Perhaps I mentioned the wrong colours there, did I? I don't know, dear. I have no idea at all. Anyone else saying anything about the noise on there? Lots of football people on there. Come on, Wolves, Andy. I know some of you are having trouble still with the chat. I don't think it's anything you've done or anything I've done. I think they're working on something, because my stuff didn't work for about a week and then suddenly it started working again. So fingers crossed there. Who wrote the song Smile? Oh, someone mentioned that the other day. Charlie Chaplin. Smile though your heart is aching. That one. Charlie Chaplin wrote that. Someone told me that the other day, which I didn't know that. Thank you. Let's have a look. People talking to George there. Michael's not working at the moment, but he'll soon be back to work. Good. You have a good rest there, Michael. I know you're a hard worker. You're not a shirker, you're a worker. I think most of the people here are workers and not shirkers, aren't they? Morning to Trevor Campbell. Sing a bit of Barry Manilow just for Mick Greaves, as I know he loves you singing for it. I don't know. I'm not sure about that, Trevor. Dr. Gregorian, our St. Sarkis is at church is closed, but they have a live feed on Sunday as well. Excellent. Good morning to 8 News Australia. Welcome along to you. You were with us the other day as well, so welcome along to you, 8 News Australia. As I say, I walked 7.2 miles yesterday. I think I'm going to go for a walk today, and I'll try out the new boots. Well, they're not really boots, they're trainers. They're not, boots are hard around, so I might try those today on my longer walk, because they were okay going to and from my mate's house last night, so I'll try those out today. Yesterday I was in the garden. I'm trying to pull back the wisteria. It's kind of come out, and it's hanging like that, and it's got bits looking for something to grab onto. So DIY Chris is in the house. I put up a stick literally across the fence plus a piece of electrical wire. I nailed in a screw. I suppose you'll want to see this again, will you, Jason Hughes? I nailed in a screw or a nail in two bits of the fence and pulled this wire across and put a stick next to it to hold it into place. So that's my DIY. I can't do it. Can't do it, I'm afraid. Some people helping George there. George, actually, I have to tell you, George, you do set up quite a lot of accounts. They come and go a lot. So I don't know why you do that. It's not good to keep doing that. People get confused. And then suddenly, you might have like 4 George Bonds on there. And well, which one is he using? So what I tend to do now is as soon as something else comes up, I'll delete one and then add the other one there. All right. Okie doke, gang. Let me show you these pictures. I sent great nephew Harry and great nieces Evie and Olivia some t-shirts. They were printed some time ago, but here they are now. There you go. How's that? I'm not sure that Harry looks particularly happy in those. In his brand new United Kingdom Talk t-shirt there. There we go. That's Olivia at the front there. And behind on the left is Evie. She's got a bit of mischief in her face, don't you think? She looks like she's about to do something naughty. I don't know what. And Harry's he's just chilled out by the whole thing. He's not really bothered, is he? I'm not quite sure that he wanted to have his photo taken. So, thank you. 8 News Australia, do you use TikTok and do you recommend it? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do use TikTok. It's great fun on there. There's all sorts of different levels of ability. And what I like about TikTok is there's so many different types of people on there. Whether you're perfectly able, there's a lot of disabled people on there. There's quite a few people with Down syndrome and various other things wrong with them, cerebral palsy, and they're all on there doing their thing. Unfortunately, as is the case with a lot of online things, they do get trolls on there. Vile, horrible people that say some really nasty things. But I get it as well. I've had it over the years as well. I never ever respond to a stupid, nasty comment or anything like that. I simply use the block button. Gone. No problem. Because what they want is a response. They want a response. These trolls that put stuff on there, they want a response. I've had it on there as well. We don't really get it on there much at all, to be honest. But I've only, difference of opinion, perfectly all right. Perfectly all right. Something really nasty, nope, you're gone, mate. You're gone. And that's it. Get rid of them like that. Never ever respond to a horrible comment. I don't suppose for one moment these celebrities and stars, you don't see them, oh my God, they get enough nasty comments. And they get the same on TikTok. And there's some really vile people out there. Some really nasty, vile people out there. Sad, lonely characters spend their entire life behind a little keyboard sending out vile messages to someone. Block them. Don't respond. So it's all on there. All levels of ability. Some people who are fantastic singers. Some people who can't sing a blooming note, but they want to do a TikTok video. They're all on there. Some very, very funny stuff. Some stuff that's a little bit, perhaps you think, oh, I don't know about that. There's also comedy on there. I've got all sorts of things. There's a couple on there that I did that people don't like because they don't see the comedy side of it, or they see something that's actually not there. A lot of people in the world, they don't get irony and they don't get satire. If you don't get those two, perhaps you shouldn't be watching some of my TikToks. But it's all done in a comedy type thing. Mine, I like to think. So, yes, 8 News is on my TikTok. You have a look down there and you see various different bits and pieces there. Nothing I ever do is meant to be offensive. But if people take offence, then they are looking for the offence that isn't actually there. It's their problem. That's the way I feel about that sort of thing. All right. I'm glad you like 8 News. I'm glad you like, all right? Jason says I should dress up in yellow and look like a big bird off Sesame Street. Well, probably 2 of them, actually, taped together, Jason. I'm so fat at the moment. I'm massive. I'm glad you like the pictures there. Thank you very much. I've got some other bits and pieces to show you. We've got some news stories as well. Talking about DIY, and you know how bad I am at DIY. There's a story in the Daily Mirror today of this lady. Amazing, really. She said there's no better. It says in the Daily Mirror there's no better time than lockdown to give your home a little makeover. But what you don't want to spend is a fortune, especially during this tough time. We've got to hold on to a bit of the money, haven't we? This mum of 5 shared exactly how she managed to build her dream greenhouse for 60 quid. 60 quid. You've got to be able to do this stuff. I can't. I'm sure a lot of you can. My nephew can. My brother-in-law can. I can't. It's just one of those things. This lady, who's 43, said she'd always dreamed of owning a greenhouse to grow her own fruit and veg. I think we all like to do stuff like that, don't we? But the one she'd seen was always out of her budget, so she decided to make her own. Her first port of call was the local window company to see whether they had any windows heading for the skip. And luckily they were kind enough to hand over 13 windows of different shapes and sizes. Because they would have all this, they have a lot of this glass, just hanging around. They've made someone's window, cut it out, they've got this bit of glass left. Well, that might just be the size you want. You might be able to get it for nothing or very cheaply. It's just like an offcut. It's a bit like going in, you used to be able to go into B&Q and Homebase. And outside would be some scraps of wood. Please take this. That rather than chucking away, I'm a great believer in all this recycling. Rather than chuck something away, give it away. Give it away. Don't be one of those people, well, if I can't get any money from anyone, I'll chuck it out. Just give it to someone. Don't be so tight. There's some very good sites. Facebook Marketplace. Often you see people give away stuff on there. I've got a great big box of mugs downstairs. No, not the United Kingdom talk one. Where's that gone? Oh, I took it. It's down there. Not the United Kingdom talk one, but a big box of mugs that they were just in the cupboard and they never got used. And that's down in the shed at the moment. I shall be giving that away at some point. I might take it down to church or somewhere like that. They could do with a few mugs. I'll have to check what's on the side first. You don't know what sort of semi-naked men. You've just come out of mass or something like that. Would you like a cup of tea? There you go. And I'm not sure that would go down very well. Who gave you these? The organist. Oh, right. I don't think they'd be surprised at that. Or naked women or something like that. Or you can put them on Facebook Marketplace. Or there's a thing called Free Cycle. If you've got stuff, you don't want it anymore, you can't really sell it, give it to someone. I've given away laptops. That have been like 4 or 5 years old. Perfectly all right. Don't need them anymore. Got a new one. Got a spare one. Why have you got stuff sitting there doing nothing when it could improve perhaps someone's life or something like that? This lady who's in Newbury, which is in Berkshire, so in my home county there. The only thing is, of course, but Berkshire is an enormous county. It's enormous. It would take me over an hour to get to Newbury. It's not like going across London. Well, crossing London would take you an hour. I gather the traffic's almost back to normal. Great. Anyway, the mum from Newbury in Berkshire explained that because she had to plan the design of the greenhouse very carefully to make sure she didn't waste any space. The roof panels were the most expensive purchase of the project, costing £60, which she sourced from Amazon with a gift voucher. And it goes on to say, whereas the frame was constructed out of pallet wood and other timber, which she already had. The door was also upcycled, and Emily had it for years, knowing that it would come in handy one day. Oh, that's the old thing of, how many of you hold on to stuff for years and years? It's sitting somewhere. Oh, it'd be all right. Then you chuck it away. And 2 days later, oh, I wish I hadn't chucked that away. I need it now. You done that before? How many times you done that? Anyway, she's put all fairy lights in it and everything. It's wonderful. Wonderful. Since she rents her house and has no idea if she'll move in the future, she made each wall separately so it can be dismantled. And that way she'll be able to take her pride and joy with her. Genius. Absolutely fantastic. And, if you can do these things, I am jealous. I just think it's blooming marvellous how people can do this sort of thing. Absolutely fantastic. Possibly one of you two have... one of you have built your own greenhouse from scratch or perhaps from a kit of some sort. I bought, last year I bought a metal shed, for up at the caravan. in Chample Hill in Lincolnshire. I bought a metal shed, and my brother-in-law and nephew put this together. It was just this flat bit, and you took this metal out. Well, it's all flimsy and floppy. And I'm like, how on earth is that going to stand up? Of course, if you put it together correctly, it does stand up, and it's fairly rigid. A little bit like, certain cardboard things, If I took a piece of this cardboard out, okay, I could easily fold it. But like that, look how strong that is. But that piece of cardboard on its own, very floppy, is the way the thing has been folded and constructed there. So fantastic there. What are you saying here? Let's scroll up today. 8 News Australia. You've seen me on TV. I doubt that, unless you were watching Look North a little while ago. Back in January, I was on there, wasn't I? Morning to Mark Colding. Can I give away my dog on there? No, you can't give away a dog. Take all mixed mugs to the church. Oh dear. My friend runs a free giveaway site in Facebook. She also leaves stuffs out with a sign. Yeah, that's another thing. You see that in Lincolnshire quite a lot. People, I told you the other day, they were like selling little plants, just a little bit of cash coming in for them. Tomato plants that they've grown from seeds. They put them outside on a table, 50p each. Same thing in the garden centre, £3. Well, they do the same with stuff that they don't want. They put a table, literally, they put a table out the front, or they put it on the garden on a dry day, put it at the front garden. Things, just things. I don't know, mugs, shoes, anything, pillows, anything. They put them out the front with a little sign, please take. And then someone will cut, rather than waste it, someone comes along and takes that. Fantastic idea. George thinks I should have a 60-minute makeover. I think I'd take a little bit longer than that, to be honest, George. I think so. Sherry, John said there's 2 dyslexic guys in a car. One says to the other, can you smell petrol? The other replies, no, I can't even smell my own name. There was a joke actually came in this morning from Simon Keane. Simon Keane generally watches the show as a recording shortly after it's finished live. And Simon writes, these give me a giggle. These are genuine excuses written on a car insurance claim form by drivers. Here we go. Leaving home for work, I drove my car out of my drive into a bus. But the bus was 5 minutes late. Another one here. The accident was caused by me waving at the man I hit last week. Excuses there. Wow. Another story here. What have you destroyed in a fit of rage? Anything? Have you ever got so angry that you've smashed something? Anything like that. Years ago, 30 years ago, when I had my flat in Wandsworth, I had a bad eye, and it was so painful. And somebody was living with me at the time, lodger. Someone was living with me at the time. Went out and got me a glass of water and handed it to me, and I just took this glass. I can't stand it, and smashed it in the thing, in a sort of fit of rage. Have you ever broken anything in a fit of rage? I can't include noses in this, please, by the way. In the Daily Mirror, it says, a man took to Reddit for advice after he dumped his girlfriend's beloved plants, including one which was passed down from her grandmother, into a lake after having an argument. He snapped and destroyed his girlfriend's special place and has been slammed online for being abusive. He explained that he had been with the girl of his dreams for almost 7 years after they met at college, and for him, it was love at first sight. While their relationship had always been pretty peaceful, with the couple taking out any frustrations, if and when they arose, the last couple of months had been rough for him. He'd been laid to rest then. He'd been laid off, rejected from his top choice of graduation school, and had put a huge sum on their savings into a new car, so tensions were running high. The couple had been arguing about some financial decisions that were struggling to come to an agreement on when everything came to a head. He explained when his girlfriend didn't want to contribute to the argument anymore and needed to refocus and recharge, she'd sigh, rub her eyes, kiss his cheek and offer to make him tea, which they have every night before going to bed. The man explained, for whatever reason, I didn't accept it that night. I asked her to sit down so we should continue. I was sick of arguing and wanted to push through until it was over. But when she walked out the kitchen and told him he was welcome to come to bed when he was ready, he said something snapped, so she walked off. Instead of drinking tea that she'd made him like usual, he grabbed a little bottle of brandy. Oh dear. He explained, this is in the Daily Mirror this morning, he explained that at the back of their house they have a room that is dedicated to her plants, her special place. Since her career was incredibly demanding, she often went there at the end of the day to escape. She's got a bookshelf to keep her favourite books out there and all these cool-looking plants. One of them which had been passed down from her grandma. Sometimes he'd go out there too and she'd be wiping the leaves and gushing about how the light comes in and how excited she was about a new plant she was expecting in the mail. I'm like that with plants. Me and my mate, we used to go down the garden centre. We'd spend £100. We had to stop going in the end. I mean, the credit card bill. My God, you should have seen it. It was ridiculous. We were spending a fortune in the garden centres. Now, we can't actually do that now because we've got so many plants in the garden now. But I know what she means, and it's very. I do occasionally order stuff in the post. I ordered a new peony some time ago. Thanks, Chris. I ordered a peony, I think it's called, a couple of weeks ago, and I ordered 3 in a box. There was a special offer, and they've gone in the garden. But the box arrives, and in the peony case, they're just roots. It's literally a plastic bag with a bit of earth in it and some roots. And you think, my God, is that a plant? Other things you order in the plant, actual plants come, in a big pot. And they're generally very well wrapped in a cardboard box. Some of them tall, depending on the size you bought. And you open the box and there's your plant. And you must open these things as quickly as possible, especially if they're live plants like that. Because they're looking for the light. They want the light, you see. I've done that before. With varying different levels of... well travelled, if you see what I mean. Sometimes I open a bottle, that doesn't look very good. But actually, nothing's ever died. It's always come back to life. Some of them look better than others after they've travelled in the post. But it's a way of ordering stuff, if you can't be bothered to go around a garden centre. And I don't think you order so much online as you do from a garden centre. Because when you're in that garden centre, everything's in its pristine condition. Now the supermarkets do sell stuff, don't they? Plants and things like that. Okay, but depending on the supermarket you go to, Waitrose, they have a fantastic selection of plants outside, and a bloke is out there, certainly our one in Bracknell, and he's always going around watering, taking off dead leaves and very well looked after. Aldi, they often have plants in, okay, but they do not look after them. If they come in, it's all right if you get there a couple of days of when they've arrived. After that, forget it, mate. No one waters them. I've gone past Aldi before and they've got all these pots outside of dead plants. And you think, why is that even outside? Nobody looks after the plants in the Aldi. It's sad, really. And it's a bit of a waste, isn't it? You think about that. If I was in charge of Aldi and I came round and I saw dead plants, I'd be straight in there to the manager. Why isn't anyone looking after? We're losing money here. Doesn't make sense. Of course, garden centres, there's always people in there of varying different ages, some young people, some pensioners in there that look like they've got a part-time job. But there's a great deal of pleasure, I think, to be had, walking around, watering plants and taking off dead leaves and stuff like that. I love it. And the garden centre, top quality. And that's the problem. You get your trolley and you go around, that's nice, put that one out. That's nice, put that one out. Get to the till, £120, please. Huh? And you look. And you suddenly realise how much you've just put in that basket. Don't really do that online. You tend to pick 1 or 2 plants that you want. That got quite, and then they come in a box. The same as perhaps they could do mystery. There are garden centres could be doing it as well. Mystery plants. Click there for a mystery plant to arrive. £9.99. Thank you very much. Back to this story then. She says, I took, he added, I snapped. I literally don't know why. I backed my truck up, put every plant in the room at the back. He then took them to the pond a few blocks from the house and dumped them all in it. Still drinking, amazingly, I didn't crash my new truck. I passed out on the couch. He dumped them all in the pond. I bet she was done it up. The man says she woke up in the morning, her eyes were so wide and full of tears. Oh, what an awful thing to do. Oh, that's just awful, isn't it? What a nasty man. But he was. Is the drunk thing any excuse? I think not. I think not really. But what have you done? Let's have a look, see what you're saying there. Let's just scroll down there a little bit. Mick Davenport says his sticker mug's all right. He's washed it 10. Yeah, try it in the dishwasher. See how well it gets on in there, mate. Have you got one of those? No, if you've got one of those or not. Jason, no one's taken away my Satian fridge out of my front garden yet. Oh, my God, you've got one of those houses, have you? With all the rubbish dumped outside. Americans call it a garage sale when they put stuff outside. Yeah, let someone else have it. That's what I say. Let's scroll down there. 8 News. I'm not able to reply to every single message you post there, I'm afraid, because there's so many coming up. I kind of pick bits out, and otherwise it becomes boring if you just read messages out. We try and do a little bit more on this show, just so you know how it works, though. All right, my love? John, I smashed the other half's favourite Star Wars mug because he left it outside and a bird had pooed in it. Well, why didn't you just wash it up? Dear me. Sean Pye had an old Peugeot car last year that kept breaking down, so I drove it into a tree in a ditch and left it there. I don't believe that for one moment, Sean. Thank you, 8 News. Anyone else do anything there? Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, no one else there. Let's have a look there. Lidl is the same. They never water their plants there. Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it, Andy? I don't get it. There was some... I've started going to Lidl just because it's much quieter than Aldi is. Aldi seems to be busy all the time. I'd rather be in Aldi, actually, but I've started going to Lidl now. It's a little bit more of a journey, but... I'm very concerned with this virus thing still. As you well know, I've been very anxious about this all the time. And let me just have my pills. And they had some... is it lavender? Yeah, lavender. They had some lavender outside. And my mate bought some. I know I got some as well. And it's a thing with Aldi and Lidl. You know, if they've got something there, you need to buy it then and there. Because once it's gone usually. Not the food, the things. I call them things. Like in the middle aisle and the plants outside. Once they've gone, they've gone. 2 days later, he decides he wants some more Lidl. So we went. Some more lavender. So we went down. Of course, there's none gone. It's all gone. None left. What else did he want? A washing basket or something like that. I don't know. Good. Oh, Mick, I have a dishwasher. She's called Mandy. Mandy, I think that deserves pain and suffering. You have just been called a dishwasher by your husband. Shocking. Shocking. Absolutely shocking, that. Thank you. You don't take the dead leaves off your houseplants, Chris. No, what for? You think I've got time? Listen, we don't all sit there bored all day looking for something to do, Mick. I'm a very busy person. Very, very busy person. I ain't got time to go around doing half the stuff that you do, mate. It's all very well you there, sitting in your armchair all day. Oh, what can I do now? Oh, let's just go outside. I bet you go around the whole... everyone's garden pulling off dead leaves, don't you? Because you're bored. I have a very, very busy life. My extensive walking that I'm so fit. So fit now, it's unbelievable, I have to tell you. All right, another story here. Miracle cures. What do we know about miracle cures? Can you suggest any miracle cures? In the Daily Star again this morning, I'll be honest with you, the last 2 days I've been struggling to find anything in the newspapers. Struggling. Virus and racism. That's all it is in the papers. We've been struggling to find anything that's off the sort of, serious side of things. This show is light. We try and keep it as light-hearted as possible. Now and again there's a little bit of serious stuff we touch, but generally I try and keep away from the serious stuff because you can turn the news on that. And turn the news on and cry your eyes out in front of that if you want. Hopefully not on this programme. In the Daily Star, bogus cures have caused more harm than good throughout human history, it says. Countless people reach for any remedy to ward off death. Of course, if you are in a situation that you've got something that is probably they've told you it's going to, do. I'm sorry, Sean, to bring this up today, but I never thought about that. You won't mind, will you? Cures that are offered to people who have got something that they've told them there's nothing to cure you. Some people will naturally try something like that out, won't they? A lot of my people that I've known in the past, HIV, which can lead to AIDS, doesn't tend to do that anymore because of pills and things like that they've got out and various injections depending on what they're put on, what people are put on, then that's one of those things. But before that, when something new comes along, perhaps like coronavirus, and you're very ill, then they're very happy you see an advert on the Facebook or on the internet, from whatever country, if you eat this, I guarantee this will solve it for you, please send £150. You're that desperate, you're going to try anything, aren't you? You would, of course you would. It's natural. But a lot of the time it's causing more harm than good. Probably sends you to an even earlier death than you were expecting. Bogus cures have caused more harm than good throughout human history, with countless people reaching for any remedy to ward off death. Even all it does would speed up the inevitability. It says, desperately trying to say that word. Even today, strange and obviously potential harmful remedies are doing the rounds as coronavirus continues its death march around the globe. Among the quack cures that have floated about online were that sunlight can kill the virus, gargling salt water can somehow destroy it, and even eating garlic prevents infection. Well, the garlic preventing infection, maybe not, but it can prevent infection against people that are annoying you. I highly recommend if you're about to go into a pub or somewhere like that, and there's going to be people that you don't like there, just eat a load of garlic before you go in. They won't come anywhere near you. I try and do that on a regular occurrence now when I'm at the karaoke, which hasn't been for some time now. This week, Mr. Trump said he was taking the unproven drug hydroxychloroquine to try and ward off coronavirus. It's a medication used to treat malaria. Here, Daily Star examines some of the crazy cures. So here we go. Do you know any of these? Drilling a hole in the skull. I know of this one, actually. I haven't done it myself. Not yet. Does it cure madness? Well, I'd need a lot of holes in my head, wouldn't I? Be honest. Described by Dr. Raphael David of Neurosciences Institute at New York Stony Brook University as one of the oldest medical procedures known to the human race, drilling holes into the skull was done for a number of reasons by our ancestors. Among the wacky beliefs is believed that head injuries could be treated by drilling a hole into the skull. There have been skeletons found with holes in the skull across Europe and Asia that date back 4,000 years. It's also carried out on pregnant women in the middle ages to help with the pain of childbirth. I'm not quite sure how that works. Maybe the pain of having a hole drilled in your head takes away the pain of the childbirth. How strange is that? So we look at some of these things and we think these are absolutely mad what they used to do in the past with this stuff, doesn't it? It goes on to say it was also carried, while today brain surgeons do still drill into the skull and the hole is swiftly plugged back up again, while a participant in the past would have to live with the hole for the rest of their lives. They never filled it in. Mind you, it's a bit like the drilled holes in the wall in here. You can't see them. I've got holes in the wall here where I told DIY Chris. I've got holes in the wall here, right? Which are where I've tried to put up shelves, and then I've put the wall plug in and it's just dropped down in between the plasterboard. Oh, God. One day I might... No, I'll never be able to do this thing. What about this? Mouse paste. Mouse paste. In the Daily Star it says, yes, it's as grim as it sounds. In ancient Egypt, people who suffered from various ailments would mash up mice and blend it with other ingredients to ease a person's pain. Forget the person, what about the mouse being ground up? Generally, the paste would be applied to a place where there is a pain in an attempt to offer relief for the sufferer. For toothache, though, the ancient Egyptians were more direct and applied parts of a dead mouse to the painful spot. The practice continued into the Elizabethan England, where a documented remedy for warts was to cut a mouse in half and place it into the raised blemish. Oh, God. Wee drinking. Now, I've seen celebrities in the newspaper talking about this. Drinking wee. People have been taking the wee for centuries, quite literally. Unlike many other past remedies that have died out, urine drinking is still practiced by far out alternative medicine practitioners. Even top athletes have gotten into the act, with martial arts Yoshiko Machida claiming in a previous interview that urine acts as a natural medicine that stops the build-up of bad bacteria. I desperately need a tissue, and I've got one in here. I mean, among other bizarre claims, excuse me. Oh dear. Among other bizarre claims that have been made about drinking urine is that it helps to improve the skin and even that it can cure cancer without needed chemotherapy or surgery. So they drink a pint of wee. I mean, what does that taste like? Oh, it must be awful. I suppose it depends what you've had for dinner the night before. Before you even think about it, says the story, there's not been a recorded study carried out that proves it cures anything at all. Awful. Of course, you've heard of bloodletting. Oh yes, bloodletting. A scarily common practice throughout human history, bloodletting was seen as a serious treatment for centuries. By making a cut somewhere in the body, typically the arm, and allowing the blood to pour out, medics of the age believed that bodily fluids needed to be kept in balance in order to stay healthy. In other words, in the minds of these primitive surgeons, removing any excess blood from the body could cure any range of illnesses. Among the diseases it was believed to cure was pneumonia, with the Royal College of Physicians of Edinburgh's claiming as late as 1942 a famous medical textbook considered bloodletting appropriate treatment for pneumonia. Some of these are just stomach-churning. Here's one. Eating mummies. No, not your mummy. Egyptian mummies. Eating Egyptian mummies. Among the most bizarre things that Europeans have ever done in the quest for better health is eating the remains of people that have been dead for thousands of years. The bizarre theories that emerged in the 1800s claimed that if you had an ailment that affects the brain, then you should eat a skull to cure yourself. It's the weirdest thing. It became so popular that much of the Western world had documented cases of toffs eating the dead in order to cure themselves. The practice even led to people stealing mummies from Egyptian tombs and Irish burial sites to keep up with the demand for dead bodies. There was a demand. Wow. According to Smithsonian magazine in 1847, there was a bizarre case where an Englishman was advised to mix the skull of a young woman with treacle and feed it to his daughter to cure of her epilepsy. Wow. It's just, isn't it weird? It's just weird, all this stuff. I don't know what you think of any of that. But Peter, good morning, Peter Paliwoda. Is that a leech on your neck? Do you think I should have one on there? That might cure me of my ailment, I suppose. Oh, dear. Is anyone mentioning this at all? Excuse me a moment. Jason reckons he's had 25 to 35 pints of cider a week since the lockdown. Are you chatting to each other? Are you there? Tony, nope, you're talking to each other. Pills time. Okay. That's all right. There we are. Mike Responto. Some people do other things with we, but best not to go into that on the family show. I dread to think. There's some very, very strange people about, isn't there? Fran, try taking the urine and tell us what it's like, Chris. No, Fran. No. Won't be doing any of that, I'm afraid. I took some more pictures. Do you mind me showing? Now, you remember I told you that our church, we were just talking about that earlier, in Wokingham, we've had some new stained glass windows put in. And obviously we can't go and see them at the moment. But the priest, after the live streaming on Sunday, he turned the camera around and you could see, certainly in the afternoon, as the sun came in, the beautiful colours coming in these stained glass windows. Well, I took it upon myself to go down the church and take some pictures. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out quite as well as it was. And you couldn't see anything. Because, of course, you're on the wrong side of the window. So here's the outside of the church. It looks like a bit of a grim building, actually, doesn't it? And you just can't see anything. Those long bits are the windows, and just if you look in the middle there, you can just about see a tiny little bit of light, obviously coming from the other side of the church. So I then got closer to them, but, I mean, you can just about see that. You can't really see the colours, though. There's 3 pictures coming up in this little sequence for you there. I mean, you can see a bit of blue and a bit of green, but you just cannot appreciate stained glass windows sort of from the outside, you know. It just doesn't show up at all, unfortunately. So there we are. I did try, but we'll have to wait until we can go back in the church to be able to get some decent pictures of those beautiful stained glass windows there. The church where Shania has got some beautiful stained glass windows as well. I think I might have shown them to you at some point. I don't know if you want to send any more, Shania. I can show those again at some point. All right. And also I've got some more flowers have come out in the garden. My first lily has opened. The lilies are waiting to burst into colour. All right. There, a close-up of the lilies there. Actually, have I not reset that? Hang on a minute. No, I have not set those. Just a minute. Fit to screen. There we go. That's better. There we go. That's the first one that's opened. That one doesn't smell. Some of my lilies smell, some don't. That's the very first one. There they all are. Can you see all the buds on the top there? That's just some of them there. They're ready to flower. Look at the lawn on the left. Brown. And it's been so dry here. That's one of my peonies. Okay. For some reason, that plant has only given me one flower. I think it might be in the wrong place, but there you go. It's not one of the new ones. It's been there a while. And I've also had some poppies open. They are literally the size of my hands. There's a close-up of it there. Isn't that beautiful? They really are the size of my hand there. Just pulling back a little bit from it there. And I think, again, can you see the lawn? It's just dead. There's some geraniums there. In the same pot as some of the lilies. That's actually on the side. I think that's all of the pictures there. Is that all there? Oh, yes, we're back to the lily there. All right, so they're my flowers that have come up at the moment. Dr. Gregorian's off. Is on a conference video call, so thank you, Dr. Gregorian. Enjoy your conference call. There's no gnomes under there, Peter. You're seeing things. You're seeing fairies. There were no lily beetles on there, Mick. They've all gone now. Not getting them now. We've got them all. We've got them all. Lily beetles, as soon as you see one, take action. Every day you're out there, and they won't be a problem. Claire done hers as well. Claire's not normally here on a Saturday, is she? Right, I think we've got one more story for you there. Have I done everything on my list there? Let's have a look. Yeah, I think I've done everything on the list. Good. Oh yeah, one more story. If you want to ask for your raffle tickets now, boys and girls, and I'll deal with that after this story. And it says in the Daily Mail today, I don't know what you think about this. I have my thoughts on this, which I'll tell you. But in the Daily Mail, broadcasters try to be impartial, but are not robots or idiots, says Naga Munchetti in the paper. The BBC breakfast presenter said her role is not to sit and blankly read the news, but instead inform viewers neutrally and give insight where possible. Now, certainly in her case, I wouldn't consider her a newsreader. I would I think, expect her to have some sort of opinion. That's the format of the show. But a newsreader, to me, is a newsreader. You are there to sit there and read the news. End of story, you know? Anyway, the story goes on. Last year, she's 45, which I find... I don't think she was 45. I would take at least 10 years off her age. Old Naga Munchetti there. But she's 45. She was embroiled in a race row after she condemned President Donald Trump for telling some female politicians to go back to where they came from, which indeed it is what he did. And I think she was probably all right to say something like that. The BBC they're supposed to be impartial, but it depends on the show, doesn't it? You know, I think something like Question Time or Newsnight, you've got to be impartial on that. Certainly reading the news, your comments can't come into it. You know, you're there to read the news. I think the breakfast show is a bit different, isn't it? Because they're doing more than just reading the news. They're also sitting there and having a bit of a laugh, making comment and things like that. She was found to breach editorial guidelines by the corporation's complaints department unit, but the ruling was reversed after an outcry. So there we are. I don't know what you think about that. Do you think they should be allowed to say their own bits and pieces on... Doesn't it depend on the show that they're on, I would have said. Anyway, there we are. Sherry has stuck stained glass windows effect on her caravan windows for privacy. It looks lovely. Oh, Sherry, I was considering doing that. Because three of my windows face directly out onto another caravan. I nearly ordered... I'd rather wait till I get there because I don't know the exact measurements. Unless my nephew's going up. He might take the children up there to do a little bit of weeding or something. Sometimes he takes them up there. So I need the measurements. I was going to buy the frosted plastic stuff. But I thought about the stained glass window. Could you ask John to send us a couple of photos of that, please? And I can have a little look at that. See how that looks. Preferably outside and inside. If he's got time. I'd really appreciate seeing those. And if you want, I could put those up on here for other people to look at. Or if it's private, let me know that as well, all right? So, yes, that does sound quite nice. As I say, I was going to order the frosted glass one, but the coloured glass sounds absolutely delightful. It really does. So maybe that would work as well for me. Okay, let's do the raffle tickets today. Just one more story, Jason. There we go. 710 for Jason. Thank you, Jason. Jason Hughes, 710. Maureen, 711. 7-Eleven. Who goes to 7-Eleven for their shopping? Thank you. Michael Lawrence, 712. Mick says the lawns are all the same. We're on a water meter. I did have the new water thing out yesterday. It's so dry. We haven't had any rain. My sister said it was pouring down with rain in Lincolnshire yesterday. Not here. Nothing. Not a single drop. They keep saying, oh, rain. There'll be showers today. No, nothing. Nothing, unfortunately. Colin Coates, thank you. 713, Colin. Fran, 714. Mick, 715. Andy, 716. Diane Jeb, 717. Tony King, 718. Peter Paliwoda, 719. What's that number there? I don't know what you put that number up there for, Daniel. What's that mean, that number you've put up there, Daniel? There's always too many snowflakes, Daniel. You know that. Peter would love to do a breakfast show. Did you do some sort of show then, Peter? Did you do some sort of radio or internet radio or something like that? I know you run pubs, didn't you? Fran, a couple of years ago, warm weather killed the lawns, but they came back. Oh yes, they always come back, lawns. That's all gone green this morning. I had the sprinkler on for about 20 minutes last night. It's now green, but not all of it, but a lot of it's come back green. It's so quick it comes back. It really does. And I very, very rarely use the sprinkler on the lawn. The plants, yes, but not the lawn. Mick says use mirror film. No, Mick. And I'll tell you why. Because when people come out, they will be blinded by the sun on the mirror film. You have to think about the people in the other caravan as well. You know, not just myself. I wouldn't want something I put up to affect someone else's enjoyment of the caravan. Especially, I gather I've got a couple of pensioners have moved into the caravan next to me, which is good news because there'd be no noise. We don't want noise. Thank you very much. Sean Pye. Thank you, Sean. 720 for Sean. Thank you, Sherry. Colin K. 721 for Colin K. 721 for Colin. John Aitken, 722. One moment. Let's just scroll down a little bit there. Daniel Holmes, 723. They had rain where Gavin is. They had rain up in Cambridgeshire. They had rain. Nothing here yesterday. Chris Woodhouse, 724. Jason's got to water the concrete later. Well, have you got any space in between the settee and all the other bits and pieces you've got shoved in your garden? Has the grass ever been mowed there, Jason? We all know what sort of garden you've got, dear. Dog poo and everything out there, probably. How awful. ROP's caravans will be rocking. Okay. I think I've done all the raffle tickets. If I've missed anyone out, please speak now, boys and girls, if I've missed anyone out there. We got some emails come in from people. Adrian, Michael Pullman, Simon Steele, Dr. Gregorian, David Fryer, Gavin Bass have all asked for raffle tickets by email, which I'll deal with straight after the show. If I've missed anyone out from the list of people asking on the live show, please speak now and I'll correct that before we go. All right, let's just have a look at today's birthdays. Happy birthday on this Saturday, the 6th of June, 2020 to Ben Swidenbank. Swidenbank, have I got that right, Ben? I hope so. 32 years old today. Happy birthday, Ben. Ezra Isaac. Morning, Ezra. 36 years old on this Saturday morning. Robert Deal. Hello, Robert. It's always nice to see your little face pop up. Who's reached the grand age of 68 years old. Not old. You're not old till you get to 80 now. Still a young chicken, Robert. Still a young chicken. Well, at least in your head, my darling. Happy birthday to you, Robert. What else have we got here? Chris Harris today is 49 years old. Happy birthday, Chris. David Grant. David Grant on the Isle of Wight there. Happy birthday to you, David. Richard Rhodes. Greeting Richards. Greeting Richard. Greetings to you. Happy birthday to you. And Scott Allen Johns as well. They're all the birthdays today. Happy birthday, gang. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Twice, coronavirus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Yeah, to you and you and you and everyone else whose birthday it is today. There we go, gang. Mick says, you've seen the Onslows. Oh, is that on Keeping Up Appearances? I love that programme. Can't believe how old that is now. It's like 20 odd years old, that programme, isn't it? The great, what's her name, Routledge, Patricia Routledge. Oh, she's fantastic, she is. And of course in that detective series she was in as well, wasn't it? That one. Lovely song. Lovely series that. Apparently that's what Jason's garden is like. That's how awful. Peter's got 7 tickets now. Remember to take a note of the numbers. You must know those numbers for when we draw the raffle on Monday. If you've sent us a tip today and you've got a free raffle ticket for that, or several raffle tickets for that, you don't need the numbers. We read out the names as well on the Thursday Super Chatter raffle. Okay, good luck to Michael Pullman, who's moving today. So good luck with that, Michael. Oh, I thought you said you were moving today. That's disappeared. I'm sure you said you were moving there. Anyway, there we go. Thanks so much for joining us on the show today. Our next show is, of course, the Bingo Show, which is tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Those of you that have registered for the Bingo, thank you very much. You'll be in the system, of course, and you'll be able to play Bingo tonight at 8 o'clock on this channel. Enjoy your Saturday. As I say, thanks very much for those of you that sent us a little tip this morning. And I'll see you again tomorrow night just before 8 o'clock for the Bingo. Bye-bye now.